Hi everyone, Sir Tomo here again. So, as always, this deck will never die. Whenever you think that scouts have gone away, scouts will always make a comeback. And this time around, they have made a comeback thanks to Broken Ball from the European server, and I also seen Salty Simon playing this deck a lot. They both have had crazy win rates with it, and I like what they have done with the deck. So, one of the big additions to the deck is Inspiring Light. So the idea is that you're able to go wide, as we do before with scouts, and you're able to play Inspiring Light to be able to buff up your whole board. It's kind of like a Bannerman without actually having to play Bannerman. We even play triple sap to actually be able to tutor the Inspiring Light. Obviously, just a single Inspiring Light will put Misfortune out of range so that I can get it sided or a lot of removal. And then sometimes you can even get Sharp Side from sap, which can be really crucial depending on the situation. And she's also really good elusive blocker, right, in general. The deck for the most part is more or less the same, except with that inclusion of Inspiring Light and Sap's Preyfin. So let's quickly go about it. We go triple Fleet Feather, one Shell Shocker, one Ranger's Resolve. Ranger's Resolve is always important. It counters Twisted Fate, right card, it counters well, etc. Shell Shocker is there just to let us curve out really well. Like, there's a crazy curve where you can go Shell Shocker on 1, Sculpture on 2, Misfortune on 3, Sap on 4, and have exactly 2 spell mana because of the Attune from Shocker and Attune from Sap to be able to do Inspiring Light, right? Like, a curve like that is absolutely nuts, for example. And it's just a nice early blocker, right? I guess Broken Ball thinks that it's better than just playing one of the other Demacia 1-dubs, which I can see that. I can agree with that. Braxton got nerfed, but it's still very crucial to protect the Misfortune, so we still play her. Sculpture, same way, gives health to Misfortune on all our units. Browwind is just the Browwind. The nerf doesn't really matter that much. Inspiring Light, we talked about it. Just buff up our deck. Marauder Warden allows us to go a little bit wider sometimes as well. Kind of gives us additional blockers if we need it. 2 Sharp, we don't need to pay 3 because we're going to be tutoring them a lot with Sap. And we have Sap herself as an elusive blocker if we need to. Misfortune, straightforward. Surgeon, because we're still going wide with Navigator. So Surgeon is able to give everything +3/+3 and let us get a great attack. Triple Rally, straightforward. Navigator and Quinn, our scout units, are able to go really wide together with Jenny. Jenny more or less so because it's only 1 unit compared to 2 from Navigator, 2 from Quinn. But it's still really, really useful as an additional scout to be able to level up Misfortune quicker. That way you have at least 8 scouts so you can potentially level up Misfortune with. And then Sap to be able to just tutor and do everything with. The deck still plays just like the typical scouts, just a little bit different because you're obviously, again, you have the body for Inspiring Light. I'm still trying to learn when the best times to use it. You've seen some of the games today that sometimes I get a little bit too greedy and way too long. Sometimes I don't use it when I shoot right away. But when it does come into play, it comes into play and it can just blow opponents out. It's actually crazy how good this card ends up being in this deck. But anyways, enough about that. Hope you enjoyed the games today, and as always, if you like the content, please make sure to like the video below and subscribe to us. I'll see you at the end of the video for some mulligan tips with this deck. So we started off with the mirror here. Okay, the sculpture is really good. This is a really good hand, I think. Maybe the sap is a little bit as aqua here. This lets me kill something with the sculpture, with the Browwind. We even get Sharp Side on top of it as well. Then this is looking pretty good. So we can Sculpture on 2, Browwind on 3, have 2 mana for Sharp Side, and then with Bright Steel on turn 4 to let our Browwind take a free trade against something. That seems pretty good to me. Unfortunately, no Misfortune, right? So this matchup is going to be a lot of whoever gets Misfortune first. We didn't get Misfortune. Opponent might have it here, but if the opponent has Misfortune here, they still have to worry about a Browwind being able to kill Misfortune. Okay, that is not a Misfortune. So opponent also doesn't have Misfortune, which is pretty good for us. Next time we got a free trade. We have a lot of Bright Steel, which are actually pretty brutal in this matchup. Because the Bright Steel means that the opponent will never actually ever get like a good trade against us. Because we're always going to have the Bright Steel to be able to actually block his attacks, right? I'm gonna let him develop whatever he wants to develop. I'm always taking this trade because I feel like at this point it's just better to take the value trade. Obviously the opponent is gonna have Misfortune. That's okay. He's gonna have to try to save Misfortune next turn. We're able to punish a Queen here because of the sharp, because of the Ranger's Resolve, right? Kind of want to summon Quinn this turn, to be honest. He still leaves us enough mana for Ranger's Resolve. He's gonna try to kill our Balor here, and he's gonna get punished with the Ranger's Resolve, right? Oh, that's all you're going for? So do we always... Yeah, this is kind of awkward, because if he kills the Sculpture, he's gonna have another Balor, I guess? We have Sharp Sight and Ranger's Resolve to stop the Misfortune skill, right? While also being able to kill his Queen. Spiral is very good, because Spiral gives him the value here. We can still kill this girl though, right? So we can still kill his Queen, and now the opponent doesn't have a good attack anyways with the... opponent doesn't have a good attack with the Balor. Obviously, the downside to doing this is the fact that we're not able to actually kill the Misfortune, which kind of sucks a little bit. What I'm gonna do is that I guess he could have the rally, right? So if he has the rally, it's a little bit annoying, but the opponent is not able to level up Misfortune here. Yeah, he's gonna go ahead and kill our Scout, which makes sense. So that means that we can just open with Quinn then, right? So we can just open with Quinn and then go wide. This is going to force the opponent to have a way to stop this, right? What if this is correct? I think this is correct. Because we have the Bright Steel to synergize with it. Allow me to actually threaten the Queen. The Misfortune, sorry. So opponent's going to have a way. Okay, well, he gets there. I think that's still okay. I think we still go ahead and just get the trade here. Right, so we can get the free trade right here. We still attack with Quinn. If the opponent wants to go ahead and block the Quinn, that means that they lose their barrier and the Misfortune. And they will lose to another Sharp Sight on a Broadway. Doesn't have it. Question here is... So this is 2, 4, 6, 9. We could get another favorable trade right here. But I think at this point we can just take it slow, right? We can just go like this. Just push 9, leave the opponent at 2 HP. He still loses his whole board. Next time we can do the Bright Steel to protect our unit. Opponent is down to just Misfortune. Now Misfortune is going to level up because it's very likely the opponent has another Scout unit where there is actually a second Quinn or something else like that. I'm gonna do the Fleet Feather now, just in case that I draw like a unit that I want to summon, and I need to be more mana efficient, right? Like something like this is pretty good. Yeah, there is the Quinn, which like we talked about, gives the opponent access to level up Misfortune, which can kill most of our board. If we go here, this is pretty good, right? Because opponent doesn't really have a good attack here, so he cannot attack with Quinn anymore. Even if he goes here, at most he's only gonna get, like, he can't really get a trade here. And then next turn we're wider than the opponent, so we're able to just kill them on the open. I guess not in the open attack, right? Oh, I forgot, the Balor does, yeah, because the Balor does hit for 3, so he is able to kill my unit. He's able to get another trade here. Opponent doesn't have the rally just yet, so we just pass. So opponent doesn't have rally, right? So since the opponent doesn't have rally and they're down to 2 HP, we just pass. Take this damage. Opponent has no way to actually push this damage. And then we just open attack and win the game, right? So this open attack is lethal because opponent has no way to stop the 2 damage. They don't really have any heal or any burst speed attack, any burst speed blockers. So we just go like this, call it a day, and that should be game. You gotta understand what your opponent's deck has, right? I guess he could technically have double Misfortune, and he would have to hit both of the Make It Rains right here. So he could have double Misfortune and hit both of the Make It Rains right here. If the opponent has something else, yeah, that's only one, doesn't have it, so this is lethal right there. So as long as we were able to keep at least one more unit than the opponent, we were always going to be able to win. I think the opponent messed up when they pulled with the Balor on the I guess he had to pull it, right? Because if he doesn't pull with the Valor, we just block with the Jenny into another unit. So yeah, GG's. So in this matchup, we'll be going up against Twisted Fate Annie. This is actually really bad for us, right? Because we're really vulnerable to all the stuff that they have. Huh. I like the Surgeon. I might keep the Shell Shocker as an early blocker. What I have found against this deck is that you want to have a lot of early blockers. Now that we have the Sculpture though, maybe we actually hold back on the Shell Shocker. Or do we actually just push the damage? You know what? Let's play on curve. Let's play on curve. Let's do the Shell Shocker. It does make us vulnerable to like a Make It Rain here. But I think it's fine. I think we're just going to play on curve. If the opponent plays House Spider, we can block the House Spider. I think I'd rather just play on curve. Sure. Annie. Opponent gets value with Annie here. We do the Surgeon, which is going to be 4 health now. We can do the Sap. The Sap is going to be just enough to get us to the Inspire. So this is the crazy curve with this deck. So you know how we did Shelf Shocker on turn 1, Sculpture on turn 2, in turn 3. We can do Surgeon on turn 3, Sap in turn 4, and she will always draws the Inspiring Light, which means that we can actually buff up a whole board. Now, I think I'd rather just do it. Do we actually attack with everything here? I think we do. I think if the opponent wants to block the Sculpture here, I'm okay with that. Opponents decided not. Yeah, if the opponent wants to block the Sculpture, I'm okay with that. It does mean that we lose some value here. An opponent has Blaze Edge. Or he hit the Make It Rain exactly where he needed to hit it. That's a little bit unfortunate. So he hit the Make It Rain exactly on the right target. Now, the problem with blocking with the Surgeon here is that we get punished by a Disintegrate. But I think I'm willing to take it. Oh, wait, that's it? We have our own Sap. So we can play our own Sap. Opponent is not able to attack with Annie. He's not able to attack with the Sap. We can go ahead. We ended up getting the Ranger's Resolve instead of the Winding of the Inspiring Light, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. It does thin our deck a little bit. I'm always willing to block this Sap, by the way. 100% of the time. And we always block the Annie. If the opponent has access to Flock, that's okay. But I cannot let this Annie level up. I cannot let this Annie level up. I think it's too early to do the Ranger's Resolve. I think the Ranger's Resolve is going to be a better punish later on. But this Annie leveling up will be too big of a deal against... Like, Tibbers will be too good against us, I guess is what I'm trying to get at. So I guess we go Navigator here. That's a bad roll. That's a really bad roll. It does push us, it does push a little bit of damage here. But it's going to die right away, right? So it's not going to be there for another turn for us to do For Demacia on it. If we got any other 1-drop, we can buff it up with For Demacia on our next attack turn, which would have been a lot better. So, fortunately, this is kind of aqua now, right? Opponent is very close to Tybalt. He has 3 cards, though. We stopped the Annie from leveling up, which is pretty good. I wonder if he goes for the Flock here. We're pushing 5 plus another 5. We're pushing 10 if the opponent has no action, which is very doubtful, right? It's very doubtful that the opponent has literally no action. Death Hand. We just let that go, right? I think we just let that go and just push the 4. It was tempting to... I don't think it's worth it to do Ranger's Resolve right there. Again, if it was any other unit that we could have saved, I would have done it. But because it was a unit that we cannot save, I don't think it was worth it. What we're going to do here is that we're going to go Jenny. And if the opponent attacks here, we're going to do the Sharp Sight. And just kill this Tybalt right now. And just that way we get rid of his blocker. Because that 6 health Tybalt is going to be really big for us. Really big against us, sorry. Now we're going to do second Island Navigator. This is tempting because of the Inspiring Light. But I think I'd rather do the second Island Navigator and be able to potentially have Rally as a backup. Because we can always rally next turn. Now, Riptide Reds is going to kind of punish us next turn. So that's kind of annoying. We're going to do this. This stops us. I guess we still lose to the Flock. I forgot about that. The Red Card is doing 2. Red Card is doing 2. So we still lose to the Flock. Which kind of sucks a little bit. We can go here. We don't need to attack with the Hound here. This is going to just be... he's going to have to block with the Twisted Fate, right? I forgot about the Red Card doing 2. I still think it was worth it though. But actually, was it worth it? All it does is just save this unit, right? Doesn't really do anything else for us. Really didn't do anything else for us. Opponent goes down to 3 HP, by the way. Okay, I thought he was gonna go down to 3. This keeps our unit alive. A second Twisted Fate kind of ruins us. They are gonna go down to 3 HP. They must feel really confident about the Riptide Rats next turn. Because they have enough mana to do like Death Hand into Riptide Rats. But if they go that way... okay, so now it has to be... now it has to be exactly a Blaze Edge, right? Into Riptide Rats. They actually lose... they would actually lose to the Sap, by the way. So if they do Riptide Rats right here... oh, wait. Okay, so they're gonna lose to the Sap regardless then. Ha. We go down to 6. Death Hand does 2. Blaze Edge does 2. I think we go down to 6. I think we go down to 6 and call it a day. So let's calculate this. Rally is 4. Sap is 8. Right? This is 9. We have 11. If we rally, this is only 10. I'm gonna commit the rally here. Let's say that the opponent has a way to kill this right now. Let's say that the opponent has a way to kill this right now. They have to commit the spell right now. So actually gonna be disintegrate. Make it rain disintegrate. So we just win the game now, right? So we just win the game. So the reason that we win the game is because Sap is always guaranteed to drop the Winding Light. Because we only have Ring. Actually, I guess it could just Sharp Sight. So it could just Sharp Sight or Winding Light. Either one of which is going to win us the game. I guess we didn't need to slow play it, to be honest. We could just play Sap. Okay, well, I'm glad we slow played it. And that's game. I'm glad we slow played it. Opponent literally just baited themselves. Opponent literally just baited themselves into losing the game right here. I guess we had the Sharp Sight, so we were never losing to the Blaze Edge. But it's kind of funny that by him rushing on the Blaze Edge, he actually allowed us to present the lethal this easily. So yeah, GG's. So in this matchup, we'll be going up against Bar Ari, which I think is actually a really good matchup for us. So I think we should be in a decent spot, especially because we have kind of the nuts here. Sap, Misfortune, Sharp Sight. I think this is a keep, right? Obviously, Misfortune's gonna get countered. Okay, double Sharp Sight as well. Misfortune always gets countered by the... he hits the Shime on turn 1. That's the type of game that we're playing. Opponent hits Shime on turn 1. Huh. It's another Shime. So that's 3 Shimes in 2 turns. Wow. Wow. We're gonna have to sacrifice the Sculpture. We actually gonna have to sacrifice the Sculpture. Wow. Triple Shine. I guess one of them was from the bird, which I'll allow it. The other 2 were just crazy value. I don't think we attack with Misfortune. I think I need to have Misfortune alive. We can Sap and then have Sharp Sight available. That will let us kill the Shadow Assassin. If the opponent goes like this, if we commit the Sharp, opponent is able to do a Twin. But then we have a second Sharp for it. I think we go like this. Force the opponent to do the Twin. Right? If they have the Twin, they do it to kill Misfortune. Homecoming? Oh, wow. Sure. What? That's the best that you could have? No way. Right? No way. So we just quit here? Start leveling up both our champions at the same time? We can kill this bird, and even if we don't kill it, we have a good blocker for it on the next turn? Okay, opponent just decides to give us the value here then. Interesting. Interesting. Interesting summon here. Don't tell me. He really started with the nuts and chimes, and it might not be enough. Like, we're actually gonna be able to stabilize. Wait, we're actually gonna stabilize here. Because whatever he summons, we can drag with the Valor, meaning that we can actually attack with both Queen and Misfortune. He doesn't summon anything, so we get a full 9 attack. We have the rally, so opponent has to always watch out and not tap out of deny, right? We have another sharp side. So the rally plus another sharp side is pretty good. Opponent hits another shine. This shines, man. This chimes. If we do Broadwind and we do Navigator, again, opponent can never tap out of deny mana. Because if they do, they lose the game. I pass, let him push his damage. It doesn't matter to me. We're leveling up both our champions next turn. Right? Wow. Wow. We have double rally, by the way. So because we have... No, because I don't want to have to commit the rally right away, right? So I think we just go here. We go here. We have a full scout attack. Man, do we even care about Quinn at this point? I don't think we do, right? Do we actually care about Quinn at this point? Do we actually care about the Quinn at this point? It's kind of nice. I think Quinn is nice. I think Quinn is really good, right? I think Quinn is really good. Yeah, I think Quinn is way too good to pass up on it here. If we attack here and the opponent blocks with the bar, it means that when they... Actually, this always attacks because this survives against the bar attack. Opponent needs to recall Misfortune. But we still get to level up Quinn. So he cannot recall both champions. Opponent needs to recall Misfortune. And once he recalls the Misfortune, that's when I'm going to commit the Inspiring Light. I didn't want to commit the Inspiring Light just yet. Because the opponent always has to recall Misfortune. If they cannot recall Misfortune, they just lose the game. We have Sharp, and we have another Elusive blocker for next turn. Yeah, there it is. So obviously they go like this. We keep our Valor alive. We're able to resummon Misfortune. We're able to do the Inspiring Light, meaning that we're still able to kill the bar with the Valor. Kind of go from there. Opponent could have a second recall, I guess, which could kind of be annoying. But I think our board is so big that the opponent's going to have a hard time dealing with this, right? Because Quinn is going to let... Oh, okay. Well, so this is just game. This is just game anyways, because we're too wide for it. So there we go. Opponent got crazy value with the shines, right? He hit one shine on turn 1, 2 on turn 2. One of them was burst, so I'll allow it. But that was 2 shines on top of his burst shine that he hit. And they still lost. So GG's. So in this matchup, we'll be going up against Thralls. And usually, this matchup is really close to 50-50. I think it used to be a lot more favorable in the past. But now it's a little bit more iffy now that the opponent is more consistent with the number of throws that they get. We also don't get Misfortune. And I think we needed Misfortune, or at least needed to have the rally to actually be able to have a chance in this matchup. Now, for Demacia, it's going to be really good. And Broadwind is also a really good card. We kind of have a decent curve. Like, we have a really good curve, at the very least. So that is nice. But if the opponent has Harbinger right here, they're able to block this. Which I always will as well if I was the opponent, because he's probably going to have Rabin, right? He's probably going to have Rabin or Avalanche, whatever it is that the opponent decides to play. We can do the Surgeon. An opponent knows that he can block with Lissandra with almost everything. And that's the problem in this matchup, that Lissandra is such a good blocker onto almost everything that we have. Like even here, right? We cannot attack with the Plunder Pearl because Lysandra can just block it. We attack with the Navigator, Lysandra just blocks it. And kind of just goes like that and like that, like that. We pass, we lose to a big next turn. We pass, we lose to the Rubin next turn, huh?
Always forward.
I guess we have to at least threaten something, huh? Opponent decided to go here. Interesting. That tells me that he's setting up for a Rubin. Oh my goodness. Are you kidding me?
Show them our metal.
You know what? If he has the Rubin, he has the Rubin. I don't think there's anything I can do about it. If the opponent has Rubins, they always win, right? Now, if he's blocking like this, then it's not going to be a Rubin play. He's just going to go for the throw. Maybe he has Rata Negation for this, for Demacia then. That's the only way that this makes sense. Because we have the perfect curve to go Queen into for Demacia on turn 6. So he will need to have exactly Rata Negation. I guess he has double throws though, right? So he will have double throw, which is just pretty bad. It's just as bad as well, right? So the double throw is pretty annoying. Opponent could also have Sense of Times. Double throw means that Lysandra levels up. Sense of Time is pretty scary. I think we lose this game. I think because we didn't go Misfortune and the opponent was able to duplicate the throw twice, because he was able to just fully focus on it, we always lose this game. Opponent's still at 20 HP and we can't even get through their throws. Like, we can't even get through their throws right here. Huh. This is gonna be crazy. We can try to kill Talia right here. And opponent just needs to have access to Sense of Time and we lose the game. I don't care about sacrificing Queen at this point. We have to try to get these throws to be low enough health so that we can pull it with the Broadwind and the Valor. Although we probably have to kill Lysandra anyways. You don't have Sense of Times, opponent, right? You don't have Sense of Times, please. Tell me that you don't have Sense of Time. So at least we can get his throws to be pretty low. Which means that he cannot do a Rubin, but the opponent definitely doesn't have Rubin, based on the way that they're playing. They decided to just take that 5 damage and not even bother blocking with the second throw because they don't want to put it in range of dying. They don't want to lose both their throws, pretty much, is what the opponent's getting at here. So opponent is deciding that they don't want to lose both their throws, which is completely fair. If it's not Sense of Times, we might be in a good spot, right? Although Sense of Time gives him another throw at the start of next turn anyways. We could try to go for the Lysandra first, but I wanted to go for this because this is a good blocker into the Plunder Pearl. But maybe that's a little bit risky. Alright, I guess I'm gonna save my Queen for one. I'm gonna save my Queen for one more attack. I'm gonna save my Queen for one more attack. Now here we have to kill the troll and kill Lysandra. Opponent can have a second Talia, which would be pretty annoying. Wow, no Sense of Time. Okay, so he's just trying to save Lysandra then, right? So he's just trying to save Lysandra at this point. Huh. Unfortunately, the Queen is just going to die to the Clockwork Curator anyways, right? But at least it's going to force the opponent to have to block with it, which is pretty good. We go after the Lysandra, which is always just going to be here, right? So we go here, that keeps that unit alive. We attack with everything. Opponent blocks this here, opponent blocks here, but he's still taking 10 damage, or at least, sorry. I guess he blocks here, so he's taking 9 damage. So opponent goes down to 4 HP, which is not bad. Or decides to go for 3. If they decide to put this at 3 health, maybe they top deck the Verena, that's why they want to do it this way. This plays around Sense. By us pulling with the Broadwind, it means that we don't actually lose to Sense of Time here. Because the Broadwind obviously goes based on health. Opponent goes down to 3 HP. So just like that in a single turn, we went to... Okay, wow. We lose our whole board. Opponent's gonna lose his second throw by us blocking here. That's why he blocked that way. So he decided to take an additional damage so that he could block like this. Does he have a way to trigger the last throw? Does he have like timing a bottle plus something else? That would be the punish here. I think we always block. Don't think there's any reason not to. And I think we go for the Sculpture. The Sculpture means that our units are going to have a little bit more health. Now, a second Rabin would kind of be a problem. I wish I had Inspiring Light. Inspiring Light would be so good here. Ay, ay, ay. So, yeah, so this is the problem, right? That none of my units actually have enough health for us to be able to survive. So the opponent just needs to not do anything. This is rough. This is very rough now. So second Rabin puts him down to 7. The Jenny is not bad. We have 8 mana, so it's kind of awkward. Opponent's going to get another throw right here. So opponent's going to have at least one blocker. Imagine if we have Misfortune here, or literally anything that could get buffed up by the Sculpture. It would be so much better. So we lose the Sculpture for free. We can go Fleet Feather. We cannot play around Avalanche, right? So I think at this point we just go super wide. You can play around Avalanche by going like this. At this point, we just go super wide. If the opponent gets Sands of Times, they win the game, right? So if the opponent gets the Sands of Time, they always win the game. So he will have to have predicted into the Sands of Time for this to actually make sense. Timing a bottle, that's not bad. That's not bad. That's only one blocker. We're able to pull it away with the Fleet Feather. We have enough to actually push 8. So we're able to pull it away with the Fleet Feather. So this is not bad. So this is 6, and this will be 8. And again, we just praying that the opponent doesn't actually have anything else in their hand. What does he have that he's not summoning anything? Like Avalanche? Okay, so that's why. Okay, so he had the Avalanche. That's why I ended up putting the barriers first so that we could play around the Avalanche. We go like this. We push 4, we lose one of our units. Opponent predicted into something else. If we had like, okay, so opponent already committed double Rabin, right? It would have to be Winding Light would have been so good last time. Talia? Talia is pushing 10. So we have to always block Talia. We always have to block the Talia because she's pushing 10. This is only pushing 8. So maybe we only block Talia. This is only pushing 8. Opponent will have to have the last Rabin, right? Oh, wait. No. Because I have to block this, right? I have to block this like this. I have to block this like this. It's the only way that we survive. Because I forgot that the Threaded Bali goes, continues going back, forward and forward. So what's our only out here? There's no out, right? Quinn. Quinn is our only out. That's not a Quinn. That is not a Quinn. Huh. That is not a Quinn. So if we go like this first, see what the opponent does. Opponent just passes, and then next time we lose to the Talia Threaded Bali, unless we top deck another Sharp Side. That's so annoying. Even Bryce Steel would actually been really good last turn, right? Bryce Steel would have been really good. Anything else would have been really good. So GG's. So we're going to be going at Demacia versus Demacia. So it's going to be Scouts versus Poppy, Jarvan, Bar, Galio. So opponent's playing triple Bar and then one of each of the champions. This is actually not great for us, to be honest, because... Opponent does have a lot of challengers, so maybe I want to keep the Sharp Side, but then I feel like I need to have my other units. Vanguard Surgeon is really good against the Massive Mirrors. This is a greedy keep, right? Because we don't get a Misfortune. But I think it's actually worth it. I think really having the Surgeon is very, very important for how this deck wants to work. So, oh, and we get a Misfortune anyway, so it doesn't even matter. Question is, do we actually summon Misfortune in turn 3? And I think we do. I think we summon Misfortune in turn 3. I guess actually we don't really have a great attack with her, right? It's too easy for us to lose to a Ranger's Resolve, so I don't think it's ever worth it to actually block there. I think it's gonna be the Broadwind into Misfortune next turn into Quinn, because Misfortune is not gonna really get an attack here, because we're never gonna really attack with Misfortune. We get to push 4 damage at least, while also having Sharpside as a backup. Opponent's gonna just kill our Sculpture. He does get a lot of challenges, which is kind of annoying. So we can Misfortune Quinn and have the mana for the Sharpside. We could also just go Navigator, but I think it's better to just go Misfortune. So Navigator is nicer. Navigator is nicer if I want to be able to get blocks. I'm actually going to summon Misfortune here. And if the opponent wants to attack, I'm actually willing to block with Misfortune and the Broadway. Because we beat the Sharpside. Opponent shouldn't attack here either.
I know what I'm doing.
So we kill both his units. And we can pull the Fleet Feather for free next turn. Ranger's Resolve. So opponent keeps both his units alive, but then he also means that now the opponent actually doesn't have value. We could Sharpside right now. It will keep our Sculpture alive. It will keep our Sculpture alive and put his Fleet Feather at 1 HP. And now the opponent's going to have a second Bannerman to actually punish this, right? Because what we're going to do here is that we're going to do Quinn. And with Quinn, we're able to pull all his 1 health units because we're going to have the Scat Attack. A second Bannerman is a punish. But we're still able to clear most of his board, even with the second Bannerman. A Rally could be annoying because obviously he can kill the Misfortune. And if he goes for the Rally, I think we just attack with everything. And call it a day, right? So the Rally here would actually be pretty brutal. Wow, it's not the Rally. So we casually just get the free kill here. And then the next kill again twice. Are you gonna Rally now? I think the Rally's a little bit too late at this point. Okay, so he's still gonna be able to kill. So he still gets to kill the Misfortune, unfortunately, right? So he still gets to kill the Misfortune next turn. But we have another Misfortune in our hand. So I think I'm okay with this. We keep all our units alive. Yeah, we keep all our units alive, and Quinn is gonna level up next turn as well. And then we can just go for the Vanguard Surgeon. So opponent is forced here to kill Misfortune, because obviously Misfortune is gonna level up. We can Surgeon into second Misfortune.
I sculpt what others only dream of.
Discipline and steel.
So now this means that next turn we have the For Demacia and we win the game, right? Okay, that's a good draw. That's a good draw. It lets him kill most of my units. Why attack with the Sculpture? You do know we have a Quinn, right? He does know we have a Quinn, right? Yeah, I was gonna say, why would you attack with the Sculpture? Sure. So now we do what we talked about. We summon So do we ever do Broadwind into Misfortune first? It's probably better, right? Because we have exactly 9 mana.
Looking for trouble.
And then we For Demacia. Opponent could have the Rally here. It's not enough. It's not enough. Yeah, there you go. GG's. It's not enough. The only thing that punishes them would have been the Rally. But the opponent also didn't Rally 2 turns ago in our last attack. So it's very likely that the opponent just didn't have the Rally. So fortunately we got there. Opponent didn't get Poppy, so that helped a lot. So GG's. So now we're gonna go up against Feel the Rush, which I think is a super favorable matchup for us. I would like to get the Rally here. Unfortunately, this hand is really good, so I also kind of just want to keep this whole hand. Honestly, this hand is kind of good. So I want to keep the whole hand. Double Sculpture is going to put us out of range of a lot of things. Double Sculpture is going to put our units out of range of a lot of things. So we can go Double Sculpture and start buffing up the rest of our units. And we can even do Sap here as well, next necessary, and then potentially get the Inspiring Light. We don't even need to go for the Inspiring Light. We already get it automatically. So we go here, let the opponent do Biofeast. Okay, so maybe they have Whale. If you have Biofeast, I feel like if you have Biofeast, you always should have used it. I mean, if you Biofeast here, I feel like you always should have done enough to kill the whole board, right? I guess this makes it so that Inspiring Light is a little bit awkward, because if we Inspiring Light, the opponent will always be able to use Biofist in response. Yeah, okay, so he has a second Biofist. I'm not going to commit the Inspiring Light yet, because the Inspiring Light doesn't matter, because the opponent doesn't have a way to really kill our units here, right? So I think we wait until we have the Queen on the board to actually do the Inspiring Light. Now, I am kind of scared of Ruination here. I am kind of scared of Ruination. So why do we do Queen? We open attack. If opponent goes Ruination, they still take 4 damage from Queen, right? I would love to have a rally here. Oh, that's huge. So now we can go like this, and if the opponent has Ruination, they lose the game. I would love to have a rally, and we just casually get it. Catalyst of Eons. Doesn't matter. We rally. Cool. We probably should have done on the Valor, to be honest. Yeah, we could have just done it on the Valor. This is always lethal, right? There's no reason for us to play anything else. I'm wondering if the Inspiring Light is better than playing these 2 units. This is adding... I think we go like this, right? We go like this, Inspiring Light. It makes that these units now have 7 attack, and they're gonna attack twice. The Inspiring Light is more value because of the fact that we have Scout. And that's game. And we're even gonna level up Misfortune here on the spot. Opponent was nice enough to let us go the whole progress. That Rally top deck completely saved the game. Now, it looks like the opponent doesn't have Ruination, right? Because I feel like if they have Ruination, they still do it anyways. So we probably still win the game by open attacking with the Scout attacks. And then just being able to do a Winding Light afterwards. Obviously, we don't get the fancy level up in Misfortune, but it's still close enough to kind of get us there. So this is how this matchup is going to go almost every single time against control decks. So GG's. Hope you enjoyed those games. You saw, like, Scouts is still packed a punch, right? And I think the reason why Scouts is still really good at the moment is because it has a lot of good matchups, right? It has a lot of good matchups into a lot of, like, the slower decks that you're seeing. It does do well into, like, Barari, for example. It seems to do well against Twisted Fate, Nami SI. So that's why you end up seeing this deck kind of coming back into the limelight, because it can just do really well against a lot of those decks. You know, really, you struggle more against a lot of the Naxos decks because they still have access to Flock. So even no matter how much health you put on Misfortune, your Flock is still gonna kill it. And then some of the other decks that have removal, like Get Excited, could also be kind of troublesome to go against. But anyways, enough of that. In terms of mulligan, you definitely always want to keep Misfortune. You always want to keep Sculpture. Those are your main 2 keeps. Sculpture, Misfortune, 100% of the time. Honestly, I will say that most of the time you should hard mulligan for them, unless you need to have like early blockers for some reason, or you need to have something like Sharp Side or something like that. But just hard mulligan for Sculpture and Misfortune, because it will enable the rest of your deck to be able to survive longer and actually get you to your win condition quicker. If you're going against a deck that has Annie, it might be okay to keep Fleet Feather, because you might be able to, you know, cheese out the Annie on turn 2, but more likely than not, they probably have a way to kill the Fleet Feather before you're able to do that. Broadwind could be a consideration to keep if you have a Sculpture Raid in your hand. That way you do Sculpture into Broadwind combo. But otherwise, honestly, again, just hard mulligan for Sculpture and Misfortune, and that will increase your win rate with the deck by like 10%. Like having Misfortune in your hand increases your win rate so much more than if you don't have it. So just keep that in mind. Anyways, enough about that. Hope you enjoyed this return to Scouts. Credits to Broken Ball again. and Salty Simon. I don't know which one of the two started with the list first, but I took this one specifically from Salty Simon that he played recently. If you like the content, please make sure to like the video below and subscribe to us. We post LOR videos every single day. You can also find us on Twitch at Twitch September. We stream 3 to 4 times a week. You can also find us on Discord. The link to that is below. And you also, if you join the Discord, you can sign up to get notifications whenever one of my videos or my Twitch live stream goes live. So, you know, benefits for joining the Discord. And then you can also find us on Twitter. The link to that is also below. Thank you so much for watching. And I'll see you all again tomorrow for some RNG fun.